Good afternoon, friends. I am Chaitanya Thakkar, and I will be the host for today for this session on travel, tourism, hospitality, and event management at the LIBF Expo 2026 Mumbai Calling. So I am basically just to give a brief introduction about myself. I am myself a corporate travel professional, IATA qualified. I am with an experience of more than 32 years and have worked with companies like the Reliance Group, the Tata Group, Crisil, Cadila Group, those kind of companies managing complete corporate travel, travel procurement and MICE. Okay, so before we start the session, I would like to set some rules. First thing, please put all your mobiles on silent mode. That is the first thing I would want everyone to do. Let me check my mobile also. Yes, that is important. And in case you have to take a call, I will request please go out, finish your call, and come back so the others don't get disturbed. Okay, unfortunately, I think Satish Bhai is busy somewhere, so I will skip that. I will, in case any office bearers of LMP or LIBF are there, respected, and then our keynote speaker, Mr. Nalin Bhai Kapadia, the chairman of Stop and Shop Private Limited. Our panelists are also here. We have Mr. Sheetal Bantia, who is the CEO of Govardhan Greens. We have Akshata Nair, who is basically representing Kenya tourism in India. And we have Captain Sudeep Ghoshal from Reliance Capital. He is the Senior Vice President, HR, Admin and Travel at Reliance Capital, which is now part of the IndusInd Group. So I would like to thank the LMP and LIBF for giving us this opportunity to present this conclave to you. And it gives me pleasure to present before you this conclave, which is aimed at creating a good cross-border business connect between our Lohana brothers and sisters. This is also a platform to network with others through the marketplace, which we will have subsequent to our keynote speaker as well as the panel discussion. And also create, let everyone take advantage of each other through their connects and, see how you can increase your business further. So I will like to you all to sit back, take advantage of the experience of these esteemed people, and let's see how best we can work towards it. Thank you, and hoping you all will take advantage of this conclave. So I would now like to call Sri Nalin Kapadia. So just before he comes, I would like to give you all a brief about Mr. Nalin Kapadia. Mr. Nalin Kapadia is born in Mumbai and a travel veteran with over 38 years of experience in travel. He is a BCom from Sydenham College and holds a MBA Finance, General and Marketing from University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, USA. He started his career with a humble beginning working in a restaurant and then went on to become the deputy CEO of Hakoba Embroidery Fabrics, which is one of the largest in India. He then ventured into the travel trade and is currently the chairman of Stop and Shop Travels and Tours Private Limited, Mumbai, and vice chairman Sands Incredible Vacations, USA. He was general secretary of the Travel Agents Federation of India, TAFI, which is one of the biggest travel agent association in India. Along with them, the other one is TAI. And he was all, which is the between 1995 and 2002. He was also president of the Rotary Club of Mumbai Midwest in the year 1996. So it gives me great pleasure to present before you this travel veteran, Mr. Nalin Bhai Kapadia, who will be enlightening you on travel, tourism and hospitality, a global opportunity landscape. Please welcome Mr. Kapadia with applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries of the DS in this gathering, today we explore one of the most dynamic industry, and I'm saying it is so globally significant to have a sector of the 21st century that connects people, not only people, but it connects culture. It helps exchange emotions and economies of the countries are involved in all these three aspects: travel, tourism, and hospitality. All three put together is not merely about leisure. We relate travel to leisure. However, it's not only leisure, but it is about economic uh, prosperity, environment growth, global integration, and cultural enrichment. Tourism-led growth in the world economy is acting as a major engine for job creations. Imagine more than 350 million people in the world are employed in the travel industry, and this is only a direct employment of the travel industry. When you count the millions of people who have a role to play in this industry with having various skills, like if you have a hotel, you need a plumber, you have an electrician. These are all jobs created for related services. For infrastructure, you need to build roads. And then the whole city continuation starts from building a road. You need so many kind of engineers, so many people to work, build. So the engineering that you require to make it. So this is all driven. If there is a place that nobody is going, there will not be any roads. There will not be any development. So today, when we are talking about tourism, it's not limited to only leisure. It is basically driving and supporting local economic development, international economic development, and exchange of people. So I would like to present to you a few of the uh, facts or the statistics that we have gathered and collected over a period of time, which shows how important travel and tourism industry is to different countries of the world and how it will help India grow better, faster, and more cohesively. So it's an economic driver. It contributes 10% of the GDP, world GDP, and 1 in 10 jobs worldwide, key driver across all the trade border and across the country, across the world. Tourism is highly labor intensive. It's still, the robots are still to come in the tourism industry. A lot of them are there. And this creates a lot of potential for creation of jobs. And we always are talking about jobs not available, this not available. At the same time, skilled labor is also not available. So people interested to get jobs and to get into this industry must have skilled labor. And they have to go through certain places. We have the theme parks, we have the adventure parks, wildlife, forest preservations. All these things form a part of travel industry. It's an all-inclusive development. It's not a development of one particular hotel or one particular segment of people. It's a comprehensive involvement of the whole, all the people involved. If a small town becomes suddenly a very touristic town, a very important town, the people of that town will start getting jobs. The people of that town will start having roads. They will see the development. They will have the equipments to modern equipments which will help them improve the quality of their life. So this is what the tourism does to any kind of people. Educational development. Now, as I just said, that you need skilled staff for educational development. Now, if we have the skilled staff, to get a skilled staff, you have to have educational systems. And these educational systems are so necessary. Like people come and ask for a job from us, and I ask them for a simple question, because geography in travel industry is very important. And ask them a simple question: is Pune on the east or the west of Mumbai? You can all ask yourself. Think about it. Most of the people say it is north of Mumbai, since we always travel up north to come down to the south, because it's on the way to Bangalore. Nobody remembers that. Some people even answered it's west of Mumbai. West of Mumbai is only the Arabian Sea. So the question is that we must have the knowledge of east, west, where the locations are. All these skills have to be developed. They are basics, but they need to be polished. Not that nobody knows about it, it's just that they are not polished enough to understand. And if they are ready to go to the schools, go to the colleges, go to educational institutions, they will be able to become experts on travel. And that's what travel industry anymore have more of travel consultants now. They don't have travel agencies who just sit and sell a ticket. It is much more involving a particular, uh, it is much more involving a knowledge that is shared with the clients or prospective tourists. And its global contribution. As I just said, it contributes 10% of to the global economy, 357 million jobs, and expected to exceed much more by 2035. They even expect more than 450 million jobs by 2035. And its travel industry, its team's ability, widespread employment, and it makes powerful driver for economic growth, poverty reduction, especially in developing economies, provided it's managed substantially, sustainably, and inclusively. So in a country like India, we need a lot of such activities to make it more vibrant as an economy to grow. And we have the opportunity, nothing better than getting an opportunity. It also, travel industry also involves a lot of youth and, and women, which is a very important part. Today, if you go worldwide and if you are traveling to say internationally, you will see lady officers who are doing your immigration. Today you go and see on the way when you are going to security, there are lady officers who are doing managing security. So starting from that level to any level where you have travel consultants who are more ladies, and also the tour leaders and the tour guides or the tour managers are also women. So this has definitely helped to bring up the quality and the acumen of women into the field of economic growth of the nation. And as I say to even the children, when they travel, they learn a lot. Today, a 6-year old or a 7-year old child will be able to go to the counter, show their ticket, get a boarding pass, pass through the security. This is itself an education of the process that one goes through. So traveling by air, traveling by railway, one goes to the station, one knows where to sit in a bogie and take your seat. It's itself. Even traveling by a bus, you learn a lot. So travel itself teaches you a uh, gives you a lot of education. Now, travel and tourism generates approximately 10.9 trillion of the global economy. I think it's a huge figure, 9.9 trillion dollars, US dollars of worth of economy, which is only 10%, and this can further go up. Even if it goes up by 3%, one can imagine how big the travel industry is related. The travel industry contribution is in relations to the global economy is a huge by even if the increase by 3%, it will be a huge increase in the million trillion dollars. Now some figures and some graphs. So we have GDP contributions 2019 to 2025. We passed through the period of pandemic in between, so it slowed down. It could have been a higher, but because of the 2 years that we lost in the travel industry was the first to be affected due to COVID and the last to recover. And then it bounced back. In 2025, if you see, it has really had a bouncing back effect. People who could not travel for a while started suddenly traveling and started pushing themselves. So 2024 was a little slow starter. After that, it just went up. So even the global, as I said, the figures of 2025, it is expected 11.7% of the global economy, 10 will further go up next year. The employment levels that we have discussed in past. The World Tourism Ranking. Now they had 1.2 million people, sorry, 102.0 million people who travel to France in 1 year in 2000, in the year 2025. The Spain had 93.8 million tourists. In that way, if you go down to Greece, which is such a small little country, they have more than 36 million people who travel to Greece. In US, the people who averagely spend per person, the highest expensive place would be 2,105.50 billion dollars in terms of international tourist receipts. They received the highest 215.0 billion dollars. Spain had 106.5 billion dollars. Now their economies depend. Spain economy, I know, it depends on this tourism. If the tourism doesn't, if there are no more tourists over there, for example, they'll have really bad situation in the economic world. They depend their thing. One thing I must say that these statistics and figures, a lot of them also are involving sort of cross-border travel, like from Canada to US, Mexico to US. It does inflict. That's why it remains so much on the top. If the travel was deducted from these two parts, it would come down substantially. So you have Turkey, which is on $556.3 billion. Japan, Australia, Canada. Japan is a genuine foreign tourist arrivals, apart from the business. Of course, this includes tourists for business, people who arrive in these countries for business. So global international tourism was at 147 billion people in 2019. In 2024, as I said, a period of recovery was 1.47 billion. 2025, it has gone more across 1.6 billion people. Now, if you see, I have made this graph especially. France has a population of 68.5 million people, and arrivals in France is 102 million people. So double the population of the country is tourist. That's how France economy is so vibrant. If you go to see something like United States, 340 million people, and they have arrivals of 72.4 million people. So it is much less than their population comparison. Receipts in dollar terms, it can still be $250 billion because the amount of money spent by each individual in USA would be much greater. You go down that way, you have China, also Australia, everywhere. And the last one at the bottom, I don't know whether you can see it, but it is India. India has no ranking as such as of now. But if you see it, we have 1.4 billion people, 1.45 billion people in our country. And how many arrivals into India? 9.95 million. Aren't we missing something in our country? Imagine this 9.95 become 20, 20 million people. What would happen to our country and our development? But today we lack in infrastructure, we lack, government has to try and is still building a lot of infrastructure to attract double the number of this, maybe 20 million people in by 2035. The jobs supported, as I had said earlier, we have more than 371 million people employed in the travel industry as of 2024. By 2025, it is expected to be 2026. It should reach somewhere around 400 million people. We have, as I said, the tourism drives economies. The tourism drives economy because it drives job employment, it is job creation. It starts economy because you have a lot of other infrastructural equipments put in. It stimulates growth because of a lot of economic activity. Like as I said earlier, you need doctors, you need plumbers, you need all kinds of at skill level people. And India is one place which is a country considered as an opportunist. People must, there is a lot of opportunities here if people go through proper education and are ready to work hard on our and work hard on our development of tourism. India's economic trajectory in travel tourism, India's travel and tourism sector is one of the fastest growing engines of the economic growth. Even in India, contribution, GDP contribution, total contribution to India's GDP was around $20.9 trillion in 2024. So if the engine and if the progress is continued, then it can rise to $22 trillion in 2025 and further up in 2026. And going further to 2035, it will be somewhere in the region of $30 trillion economy. Domestic tourists spent $15.5 trillion. Now in India, we must remember, with our population, we also have tremendous amount of internal tourism. It's not necessarily only, tourism doesn't restrict to international tourism also, only. So there is a lot of tourism within India. And if you meet today people, they have traveled by different ways and different means to different parts of the country. And they have gone to such places which one have not even heard of in general. So India has a lot to offer, a lot has been hidden, which is coming out. And this growth, if you go to Hampi, for example, there are so many lovely hotels now, which about say 25, 30 years ago, we didn't have any decent place to stay. So here is a tourism industry which is developing these kind of activities, and a small place like Hampi or Konark is now developing into a large tourism spot. And this is possible because of lot of local tourism and not depending only on international arrivals. So basically, tourism is a driver of economic growth, sustainable growth. India's travel and tourism supported 46.5 million jobs, 9.1% of the total employment in India. I think that is a very big number. Imagine if we explode, have double the number of people coming to India, more people traveling within India, what it would generate, and how many new jobs would be created in the next century. India's travel economy is evolving into a multi-trillion rupee pillar of growth. So country will start depending a lot on their economic activity. Today there are a lot of activities. We had the Mahakumbh, which hosted millions and billions of people over a period of 45 days. And it was an outstanding achievement for the people who managed it. I'm sure there were some issues here and there. Some challenges were there, but having said that, they were able to handle the whole situation for 45 days consistently. Imagine the economic generation, economic movement in that area. And because that area was reached from every area of India, what would have totally been the total contribution would have been to the development of that area and the rest of the country. High multiplier effect. As I said, that once you have a hotel, once you have any kind of tourism activity, you need so many things to be there. Something like railways. Railways have largest employment potential. Airports development. Airport requires a lot of people and funding. Women, in the inclusivity of women and youth. In 2023, the sector employed more female workers, 58% than the general non-financial business economy. So this also has, as I had expressed earlier, that we have the women power in this industry, which will be definitely supporting a lot more. The online platforms and travel technology is creating new high-tech roles. As I said, a lot of skill roles are coming up, different skill levels are accepted. So we have space for every skilled people. We have the potential for mice, and we can develop a strong bonding with all the neighboring and all the countries across the borders. That's what we say, Atiti Devo Bhava in our country. Thank you for listening to me, and let me go have an opportunity to go through this. A small video on US. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Nalin Bhai, for this wonderful presentation with facts and figures so that all our travel suppliers and partners here will get a good information about what is actually happening in India and at the global market. Thank you. And now we move on to the next agenda, which is basically the panel discussion. So, for this panel discussion, I would like to invite Mr. Seetal Kumar Bantia, who is the CEO of Govardhan Greens. So, just a brief about him. He is a visionary hospitality leader whose life and work are deeply inspired by the sacred land of Dwarka, the eternal kingdom of Lord Krishna and his birthplace. For him, Dwarka is not merely a destination, it is a divine responsibility. The founder and CEO of Govardhan Greens Resort, he has pioneered a unique model of hospitality where spirituality and sustainability and service come together. In 2017, inspired by the larger vision beyond business, he also co-founded the Divya Dwarika, a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting responsible tourism, preserving Dwarka's spiritual and cultural heritage, and enriching the pilgrimage experience of the devotees from across. With this short introduction, I would present before you Mr. Seetal Kumar Bantia. Next, I will call Ms. Akshata Nair, the Account Director Branded and a representative of Kenya Tourism in India. Akshata is a strategic branding and marketing professional associated with Branded, handling Kenya Tourism Board in India. She is involved in supporting efforts to enhance destination visibility, promote tourism, experiences for leisure, MICE in India, and strengthen Kenya's global brand presence through creative, data-driven campaigns. So please welcome Akshata on the stage. And lastly, so there is some change in the previous this thing of the panelists. Someone could not also make it, so we are not including him. And lastly, I would like to call Captain Sudeep Ghoshal, Senior Vice President, Reliance Capital Limited, which is now a IIHL company, handling HR, admin, and travel. So he is a war veteran. He was part of the Kargil, Operation Vijay at Kargil, and a corporate real estate services professional with 28 years of overall experience involved in infrastructure, development projects, administration, security, management, travel logistics, etc. in various industry segments like IT, ITES, NBFCs. As a combat veteran, Sudeep brings unique perspectives gained from his battlefield experience to his corporate role. So with this, I present before you Captain Sudeep Ghoshal. Of course, I don't need to introduce myself, I've already done it. So I will be the moderator for this particular panel discussion. So we have a few questions, and with these questions, I will address it to them, and I will request all of them to give their brief perspective about this particular thing. So the first question is basically, what are the biggest gaps today between travel agents, hotels, and event planners, and how can better collaboration help improve guest experience?
Hello. Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'll say that today I can divide the travel industry into three parts. One, the end user, the customer, the travel agent itself, the industry which is into ticketing and other parts, and then the event planners, right? So we can distribute into these three. And when we talk about coordination between these three, at times we as corporate travelers, we find that there is a disconnect between all the three. So if I am taking a MICE incentive trip of, let's say, 500 people outside India, it has to start with coordination between the three agencies, all three, whether it is the travel agent, whom we call the TMC, Travel Management Company, the event planners, because now of late the TMC companies have started becoming, or they have started incorporating events also into their portfolio. Earlier it was mainly only, they were concentrating only on ticketing. So any small minor changes in any one of the departments or any minor changes from the client side, it was not getting communicated to all the three, and it still happens. So the best way to coordinate between these three or collaborate between these three is whenever a corporate is actually planning for a destination, that itself should be the start point for a kickoff meeting between all these agencies together. If the if the TMC itself is into providing event or doing events also, they can suggest. But at times, marketing and branding teams have their own choices. They will have their own set of people and own vendors whom they will prefer. So that coordination between the marketing team, the administrative team, and the travel partners has to happen. Uh, so that is where we find the gaps, and if we are able to close these gaps between these partners, we should be able to have a much more smoother experience that we will be able to give to the customer.
Okay, I'm really sorry for this disturbance, but for this I would request everyone, please wear your headphones. If you have not taken it, please collect it from there. That will give you a better this thing of all the what are the speakers are. It's there at the back. Headphones are there. You can take it from here, or they are available at the back also. So I would request everyone, please wear the headphones, so things will become much easier for you to hear. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm fully with this gentleman, but his experience being associated with corporates and corporate traveling, which is a very big segment of the tourism industry. But somehow my experience relate to retail traveling, because I am located at a pilgrimage place, right? Where usually the family groups are the customers, our recipient at our location. And more often than not, three generations travel together at any pilgrimage destination, right? So being in this industry at a pilgrimage destination, what gaps I have observed between the stakeholders. Specifically, we deal the primary stakeholders which we have conflict, that is the travel agents. Okay. Now, in a way, we consider them, means we, it's very good to say they are our partners. But the reality is, everybody is fighting for a bite, right? That is the reality of life. Now, as a hotelier, when I say this offline travel agent is my partner, I equally treat online travel agent as my partner as well. But then there is a conflict between these two. So, in my opinion, the real challenge for a hotel, I will restrict my opinion to hotel only, because my experience relate to that field only. So what we face as a hotel, the big gap, that is always a balancing act between online and offline travel agents. That is my take.
So, of course, both of them have their due points given here. From a tourism board point of view, what I have a consensus is tourism board is meant to educate, to create more awareness. As he said, corporate MICE travel is very important, and so is a leisure FIT individual. It could be a honeymoon, a religious tour, any kind of a travel plan. But it's important for them to coordinate with the hotel partner, the ground handler, the hotels, the DMCs. It has to be all one-stop solution, which is in the ideal world. It does not happen so in the reality. So the best what we do is educate the end partner. It could be the customer, the MICE corporate, the corporate or the agent or the FIT individual traveler must be educated on where he needs to travel, how does he move about, the itinerary choices, the experiences that he really wants to do, and then he can actually dictate and route it via the travel agent online portal or directly even with the hotel. But the more cohesive everyone works together, the ultimate result will be a successful tour. So yes, in the ideal world, we want everyone to come together and work together. but it may not happen so, but it's very important to be educated on what you want to really do. So if the end consumer knows that even if it's a corporate or a leisure, he may want to really experience an offsite or in the desert or maybe in a frozen Norway, you know. He knows what he wants and he then asks the agent or the hotel partner to curate accordingly. So yeah, that's where
Okay, now we move to the next question, which is basically how government, tourism boards, and private partners align together for better MICE growth.
So I begin with this since it's a tourism board. So before a tourism board actually comes into play, it's very important on the top end for the two governments to be aligned. There has to be good bilateral agreements because the travel and tourism will only relay and operate as per the relations. If they're good, the tourism board is more than happy to welcome this and promote the destination in India. I'm talking about international. It can also mean the same for domestic because we may have state differences within each other as well. But it's very important for strong government relation. That's what gives confidence to a tourism board to really penetrate pan-India, not just region-based. And then we have the travel partners who will operate based on demand from either a corporate or an individual traveler. So yes, a tourism board will work when the government bilateral ties are great in favor of travel and tourism. And then we'll have a year-long, because the tourism board does not come and only plan an event, a single event. It has to be a year-round collaborative experience in the market to understand what is needed. I may want to promote Antarctica here, but I need to understand which market is really interested in my choice of destination. So yeah, that's...
So just use this so that at least you all can hear. I don't know why this thing has happened, but I need more.
It's okay.
1 second, I'll give it to you all. Correct. You cannot have a panel discussion like this.
Yes. I would like to add very little on what tourism board and state government and the private stakeholder can do to enhance MICE tourism. I would go to that extent. Why MICE tourism? Any tourism, means any segment of the tourism, this cohesiveness or rather the win-win situation among all this tourism board, state government and local government. Now we have experienced in very recent past in Gujarat during year 2015-16 when there was a law and order challenge. Okay, so when there is a law and order challenge in the states, we immediately, being the first, first-hand beneficiary of that tourism economy, we hit very hard. So government's role is to maintain law and order is one of the primary responsibility, because during that Hardik Patel episode in Anandiben Patel government, it was happened during 2016-17, and we had very pathetic 2 years of tourism with one single incident. 2 years has been spoiled of our business. So having great law and order maintained, that is the government responsibility. On top of it, our tourism board, that is Gujarat Tourism, that has come up very heavily in last 10-15 years. If you look at Gujarat in the landscape of national tourism, about 20 years back, it was nowhere. But it has come very, 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 very hugely, aggressively. They have marketed everything, and we all are, witnessing that growth for last 15 years. So there is a big role of government, tourism, and private players like us. Like as it has been given in my introduction, we at Dwarka, once we have got huge capacity expansion during year 17-18, then we have found an NGO, Section 8 company, like Divya Dwarka. And the purpose of Dwarka is to promote the Dwarka as a tourist destination. So we have been through all this process. So that is what I would like to add. Law and order, aggressive marketing, and local support. That is my take.
Yeah. So I'll again give a slightly different perspective to this. When I talk about government involvement in this entire cohesiveness or the creating an environment which is cohesive for tourism, the first and foremost is government giving certain kinds of maybe incentives and relaxation to the tourism industry itself, which I am yet to see. I don't know. I mean, government has done it for IT industry and some other industries, telecom industries at time. But I am yet to see anything being. Maybe it can be in the form of tax relaxation or whatever. But those, it is something which the government needs to take a call whether they want to, take it to that level and promote tourism to that level in India. Maybe in India it is still at a, the priority is not that high as far as tourism goes. Second, create a one window platform kind of a thing wherein in most of the places government has already started creating one window platform, whether it is the taxation department or other places. But here also, let's say a very simple thing like a visa processing. And it's both ways. It's not just for India, it is outside also. Even if when Indians are going outside, if when we are taking large groups, getting visa for, let's say, a group of 500 people, 800 people, it's not that easy. And this is where we also need help from the tourism boards and the embassies who are located in the. So when I talk about the embassy, automatically they become part of the government of that particular country that they are representing in India. And same way with the help of tourism boards who can push across the case for, the corporates and such large groups so that it becomes convenient and it becomes a smooth process. So that is where the role of the tourism board comes in. Again, one step ahead, tourism board, like she has already mentioned, it is important for, at times, even the TMCs, they are not aware about the destination itself. How to curate a complete package is where they can be of help, where they can come and guide the, decision makers of the corporate. At times, they even take people to that particular destination to show them what is available in that particular country. Same way, the same thing can be done by Indian governments or Indian states also when they are when we are looking at bringing people from outside India to India. So this is where the collaboration should happen. And as far as the public and private collaboration is there, one more point that I would like to add is adding on to the infrastructure, which the government has already started. I mean, this also I'll call this Geo Center is an infrastructure which is added. But of course, there still needs some improvements, like we are facing challenges out here also, right? There is a Yashobhumi in Delhi which has come up. There is a convention center in Hyderabad. So multiple convention centers, all states, get that kind of benefit where people go and do certain events. So it's not that everybody from across are only going to Yashobhumi or coming to Mumbai to do an event. They can go to other cities also if they are building such convention centers. So infrastructure building, and that depends on the state and the public private partnership. So that is how I think the cohesiveness can increase.
We move to the next one, which is basically how Indian destinations can position themselves globally in luxury and wellness travel. So we spoke about the personal travel, we spoke about corporate travel. So we now move to luxury and wellness travel. How can India position itself globally?
Should I start?
Anyone.
So here I would want to bring in some of my experiences from Kargil days. So as a young lieutenant, when I went there in 1999, when we were fighting the war, there are a set of villages, to be specific, only 3 villages in Leh Ladakh, which have the descendants of the original Aryan race. The Germans used to call themselves Aryans, and Hitler used to think that he is from the descendant of the Aryan race. But the actual original Aryan race, the descendants of those original Aryan race, are present in India in 3 villages called Da, Darchik, Garkun in Leh Ladakh. Okay. So when I went there, I got to know that before the war, in the late 80s and early 90s and mid 90s, there used to be a kind of a tourism. You all will think it a very different, don't take it in a different way, but actually there used to be people from Germany used to come to India, Leh Ladakh. They would specifically go to these villages. Females will go there to get themselves mated. What? For what? To their next generation has to be a pure breed of a Aryan descendant. So that is the kind of mindset they had. This is one of the, and it was a tourism, it was a flourishing tourism, let me tell you. Those kind of things were happening in those days. Now I am talking about, as far as India is concerned, we have raw material for all the world's best experiential, kind of tourism, or even for that manner, wellness tourism. These are the two things that India can promote like anything. Only thing is, what we have started doing is we have started promoting one destination. When we talk about one destination, I'll just give example. Taj Mahal, Taj Mahal, Taj Mahal, Agra, 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 that's it. Or why we will have to start promoting things like, I'll just give an example, maybe from palaces to wilderness. So you cover, Jaipur, Jodhpur, then come down to Ranthambore, go to Javai, whatever. I mean, make a circuit. People from outside who are coming into India, they should not feel they are going to a value destination. They should have the option of a value travel. Also, they should have an option of a luxury travel. So that we as Indians, or we as, whether it is hoteliers or anyone, we have to give them that experience. So when it comes to hotels, that kind of luxury environment has to be. We have palace hotels, but very few. So we can create more such, infrastructure and and attract people from outside India.
So I'm of the opinion that luxury does not necessarily mean only in terms of stay or the hotel room. It can be a rich experience as well. So more than luxury stay, I feel India has all the correct parts for real raw heritage, culture, infrastructure. Infrastructure is something we need to work on, of course, but we do have the manpower, we have the resources. We need to build on that to make it more experiential, because all Indians want to only travel overseas, to probably try. You also want to create that same experience for non-Indians to come and visit India. Like he mentioned, hotels are definitely an add-on if it's a luxury hotel, but the experience, so it can be just something related to Kenya. Now when we promote Kenya, we have so many advent travelers who have been to Tadoba, or have been to Jim Corbett, or have been to a lot of other national parks, have had experiences, and they want to come and ask us, okay, what else can we do now in Kenya? Because we have already covered more than 5 parks here in India, which is so great. When I'm promoting Kenya, of course, I'm not so happy because I want them to go there. But as an Indian, yes, it's very good that we are also trying to curate and experience right here in India, because most of the Indians may have access to any of the states here where they can see the wildlife, adventure, and adrenaline rush experiences. So adding to what Sudeep just mentioned, more than luxury hotels, I think it's the experiences that we need to work on in India.
I'll just take one second. I'll just take. I don't know how many of you are aware that right now in Leh Ladakh region between Kargil and Leh, there is a tourism which is dedicated for sighting snow leopards and taking their photography. Okay, there are certain areas, and it is also in Himachal, certain places when you go towards northern Himachal. So these are also some kind of experiential things that we can promote as a tourism industry people.
Yeah, so that's true. Basically, luxury just doesn't mean luxury. It should be that rich experience and something unique that you can get, even if you are staying in a tent rather than a hotel or a palace. But the experience that you get, if that is really good, that also leads to a good luxury travel. Okay, we move on to the next one. This is basically relating to employment. What skills does the travel and event industry need the most from today's youth?
Dedication.
Perseverance and consistency. I think a lot of patience. I'm so fast to talk because, yeah, you have a lot of the Gen Zs and the next generations wanting to switch and just move on, probably with 3 months experience, less than 6 months. But it takes a lot of time to really gain insights. Of course, there are a select intelligent and very exceptionally high IQ'd individuals. But this entire rapport building network, knowledge of the destination, that's power. So that kind of, Mr. Nalin Kaparia here, he gave us such a good debrief on what India is supposed to move forward in and what the global scenario is going to look like until 2035. So that's not something that he's gained overnight. It is years of experience, put in a lot of hard work in the industry. So that kind of knowledge building and applying the latest AI, I'm sure, because our generation may not be that AI confident. But yes, that can be a task master for us to really grow our experiences and put it out to the world. But yes, knowledge building and perseverance, I think, yes, that's important and key.
Yes, I am fully aware, means fully agree with both the panelists, co-panelists. Uh, One thing which I would like to add, that is sheerly the numbers. First thing first, the requirement of manpower. That is sheerly number itself is a big challenge. Now getting a skill within that given numbers, it's another added challenge. So primarily, what are the skills that perseverance and long-term vision and commitment? This is something which is a very basic skill which cannot be taught into any of the institution or any of the training program. These kind of skills is widely missing in today's manpower as far as tourism industry is concerned.
I, I have certain observations as a traveler. You go to any place in India, even in Mumbai or Goa or wherever you go, the hotel staff, maximum you will find are from Northeast. They are the only ones who are coming to across the country and going and doing the services. If you go to any restaurant and you will find the cooks are either from Uttarakhand or Orissa, and the guys who are serving, the waiters and all, they are all only these few places are there from where people are coming out because they may not have employment in their own states. That's why they are coming out. But why I don't see a guy from Rajasthan doing the, he might be there in the hotels and palaces in Rajasthan, but outside Rajasthan I'll not find them. Same is with any other, whether you talk about a Maharashtrian or a South Indian or anyone for that matter, I don't see. So that mix of people doing certain, either they feel that it is too demeaning, which it is not, because finally it's 24/7 work. I mean, they are the staff who are working round the clock to make sure the customers are happy. So that is one big challenge, and that maybe the hotels and the travel industry has to take care of it. How they promote these kind of skills in other states also. Only very few states are there where people are coming out on taking up these kind of roles.
Share my experience also with this. See, I have also traveled quite a lot from lower grade hotel to the 5-star hotels. That is true. Northeast people are the maximum to be seen. And in certain aspects of hotel, when you take it, it is like it is service, it is your spa, your wellness. You will find maximum Northeast girls, especially in spa and all. You will find only Northeast girls. Other you will not. I have come across only maybe in 1 or 2 places where I have actually come across someone who's not a Northeast. So that is something which we really need to look into and see how we can promote local. Now Rajasthan, what he said, outside Rajasthan, yes, outside Rajasthan you may get someone Rajasthani, but that will be mainly in the kitchen, because they are at times very good cooks also. So that is where you will find them. And the other thing, I can give you my own experience. I started my travel career way back in '95. Before that, I gave my IATA. That time, everything was manual. The entire IATA exam used to be manual. You have to literally go through lot of things. And I am myself actually a short-tempered person. But this industry actually has made me very patient. We were given a blank world map, and we had to pinpoint the exact city or the airport on that world map, blank map, and we have to write the city code, the country code, the city name, and exactly. If it is a little deviation also, it used to be negative marking in the exam. And IATA means it is 75% passing in 2 papers. One is relating to geography and all that. The other one is relating to your ticketing and fare calculation and all that. And you have to know all the city codes. But today, just a few years back, I was interviewing some people for my own company to work under me, and when I asked them, The answer I got from them is, sir, computer में देख के बताना पड़ेगा. They don't even know the basic city codes of the country, the cities across the globe. Of course, now with so many years gone, of course, we also will not remember all. But at least the basic frequented country codes and all we do remember still, because we have done it. But today's generation, that is because they don't have that patience to learn that. They just want to get into the computer.
Thanks to ChatGPT and Perplexity, it's at their fingertip. They don't
it's
need
not
to.
that, not even that. If I am doing a person who's coming from a travel agency, the travel agency person is totally dependent on the GDS. Whatever he wants, he will put the command on the GDS and he will get everything. He doesn't have to issue the ticket. He doesn't have to do fare calculation. Everything is automated. Then what will you do? So then automatically your skill set and all that goes down. You have to deep dive into the practical thing also to understand things. Okay, now since you were talking about AI, so now I'll move on to my question on AI. So how is AI shaping customer planning, pricing and personalization in travel?
So I think with AI, again, I would like to say that it kind of has made things faster. So the clients already know what to expect and they're just going online to compare probably rates or where they should travel next at what cost. AI has made things easier. So example, what we were discussing, there are two sides to the coin. Is now the GDS system enables them to really get back because of competition. They have to respond fast, or there are probably another 5 travel agents who may grab the client or the group and, by just quoting a lower quote. So yes, that is important, but also the best route, a best blown out itinerary, that's important, and that comes pure with knowledge, because that is something the AI is not going to prompt you that, okay, for an experience, you must probably combine Kenya with a Seychelles or maybe a Singapore with a Malaysia. That's not something that your GDS or your computer will prompt. That's only with an experience that, okay, you can do an Australia and a New Zealand together, but yes, you will probably have to be on the East Coast and not really make them travel. So that's something that will come with experience and working on the travel product for a long duration of time, and that's something AI cannot replace. It'll just smoothen and hasten the process with the AI fundamentals, but not really create enriching itineraries. That's my take.
Yeah, it will just give you an idea and it helps us to understand that this is possible or not possible. However, even personally, I would go and see 10 YouTubers and see what kind of experiences they had, and then only I'll decide on a particular destination, even today. So, because for us, it is very important to visually see someone else also experiencing good or bad things, and then we take a call that, okay, whether we really want to go to that country or not, right? And AI will help us in doing lot many other things, wherein, like sir showed us so much of analysis. Today, like he mentioned, he has done this analysis over a few months. That AI will give us in seconds. Those kind of analysis, what is the, whether it is related to ticket costings, whether it is related to number of travels that is happening, people coming into the country, going out of the country, those kind of data analysis will become far more easier, and with the help of which we can improve our own other activities, which will help us to actually boom the industry. That is my take. And of course, other than that, I think as of now, like she said, max to max AI can help us with virtual, visualization. That's it.
Okay. As far as use of AI in hotel goes, I will share my experience on best on that particular parameter. Of late, we have started very slow, starter, but then we picked up use of AI. We use tremendously AI in marketing our hotel. So marketing is the one segment, sales and marketing, where we leverage maximum potential of AI, followed by certain repetitively task, because hotel is a matter of operations, so when it comes to operations, it is SOP, standard operating processes. So measuring that processes and improving those processes, being an individual brand. If I am a franchise of any national, international brand, then all these things are ready-made available to me. But being an individual brand, for me, forming SOP or getting SOP for my operations is a very low-hanging fruit as far as AI is concerned. So that's how we, as an individual brand, as a hotelier, small hotelier, we are leveraging AI. And of course, AI is not going to replace the manpower. That is for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so that was my next question. Will AI replace traditional travel agents or empower them?
Obviously, empower, in my opinion.
So like Akshata already said that, using the GDS, they will do things much faster. So that leaves them with a lot more time to think about more value proposition things rather than just doing the mundane daily routine task. So that is where AI will help to, for all the routine tasks, you can use the AI part of it. For the creative and the brainy part, you use your brains and the skills that you have.
Yeah,
So,
because as
yeah.
rightly, sorry to cut you, but rightly on the chat GPT prompt, if you don't put a prompt which is correct, it's anyway not going to respond. So that it cannot read your mind. It can just give you a final output which is faster. And I must say, yes, AI will help you grow business when you know stats, you can analyze, you know where you want to really grow your power in. That's great with AI, but you have to also enable to put the correct prompt and then request the chat box to give you your expected results. So yeah, you cannot replace it with manpower.
So lastly, I will just give a minute to each of the panelists to give out their final views on what they would like to give some message to all the travel partners who are sitting here from their side.
I actually forgot to mention when it comes to India, we spoke about all experiential travel and other things. But then I looked at him, then I thought of Dwarka, and I forgot that I am also from Varanasi. And let me tell you, Varanasi is now having tourists more than that, the inflow is that is coming in Goa. So, of course, Modi ji is there as the MP of that place. But other than that, the spiritual and that spiritual tourism with combined with yoga and other things is something that the entire world is looking up to India. We should take advantage of it before it fizzles out and the international brands come and take over those things. I mean, as Indians, we should take charge of it and we should promote our own hotels and brands to take up these. I was doing some search on Varanasi itself for a small event, and I saw that at least a hotel like the Taj IHCL, right? They call it. They have some 4 or 5 different brands in Varanasi itself by different names. So that was really good to see. But same, I mean, Rishikesh, Haridwar, there are so many places. Like he mentioned, Dwarka, lot many more places. Kedarnath, Badrinath, I don't know. First, the roads have to get proper. Today we have helicopters going there, but half the time we see helicopters are also crashing. So those kind of things need to be improved first. And yes, I think he, as sir already mentioned, that even a 3% increase can actually take it to a 3 trillion increase in terms of dollars.
Yes, absolutely. I continue with this experience regarding the spiritual tourism and the pilgrimage as a destination. Somehow I spotted out this market, being my hometown. मेरे लिए तो वो घर की खेती थी, इसलिए that was my low-hanging fruit to choose द्वारका. Then people said कि आप बड़े visionary हो, आपने बड़े जल्दी से identify कर लिया. It is nothing like that. But somehow I happened to be at a right place at a right time. I started my operations in Dwarka at 2011, right? Those point in time, pre-Govardhan, my brand is Govardhan Greens. So pre-Govardhan, what used to be there were only budget hotels on high-end guest houses. Now post-Govardhan, over a period of time, since 2018, 19, 20, during those years, there is a huge addition of capacity in the market. And with that capacity, supply side being expanded, that it has attracted additional demand. Okay, so right now the thing stands as of today, still Dwarka is facing acute supply. Okay, and there is tremendous potential. Now when it comes to experiential tourism, we in and around Dwarka, we are blessed with tremendous amount of marine life. Additionally, Jamnagar is a hub for Ayurveda, right, which is about 140 kilometers away. And there is a world-class WHO research center, which is being right now under construction. So we expect a great boom once it gets operational, right? So this kind of experiential tourism, which is already happening, and pilgrimage, in my opinion, is supposed to be the fastest growing segment of the tourism.
I actually sat down and made an itinerary for myself. Go to Dwarka, Somnath, Porbandar, do Gir National Park. I mean, so I can combine so many things together. So I mean, he was
Actually a
talking and I
crazy
was
guy
thinking
after,
about that region.
Wildlife
And
reserves.
like he said, one needs to know the geography of the country. So he was talking and I was thinking about that region. And I said, these are the things I can cover as an experiential items for. It covers wildlife, it covers, I mean, beaches and sea, it covers religious, spiritual things, it covers historical, Gandhi, Porbandar, Dandi March, we all know. So many things can be covered. And even, I think, Diu is very close by.
Yes.
Diu is close by. There is the one Jain pilgrimage also that happens in
Palitana, near
uh-huh.
Bhavnagar.
So many things can be done in one trip itself. So yeah, that's how we need to start thinking.
I tell you, I know him for last so many years. He's actually a very, very crazy traveler.
Okay.
I think he must have covered, I think, major part of India. Not only during his army days and all that, but after that also in his corporate world. I used to keep seeing, because we worked together for 6 years in Reliance. So I know him, he's a crazy traveler. Okay. Akshata, your views.
Yeah, but to end it now, of course, knowledge, again, I say that knowing the destination and how to really curate an itinerary and then working together, everyone needs to be aligned on the same page, whether it's a travel agent, hotel, and the client, whether it's a MICE or a FIT individual traveler. I think empowered with AI, they'll all be together, and then we have travel booming within India as well as international as well. So yeah, that's
Okay.
the last.
I will now like to really thank the panelists for having given their time from this thing, and I would like to invite Nalin Bhai also on the stage, and I'm opening this session now for question answers. You can direct your questions to either the three panelists or Nalin Bhai, any one of them, and they will be happy to answer. Please. So the floor is now open. So anyone wanting to ask any questions to any one of them, is please feel free to answer. Feel free to question.
थैंक यू सो मच पैनलिस्ट, बहुत अच्छा सेशन रहा और काफ़ी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला, काफ़ी इन्फॉर्मेटिव था और डीप सारा सबका डीप ड्राइव बहुत है अंदर, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा, थैंक यू। मैं भी एक होटलियर हूँ, हमारा भी रिसोर्ट से दीव, दमन, जवाई, आप जो बोल रहे थे और जो सर बोल रहे थे कि वो टेंटेड एकोमोडेशन में लग्जरी होना चाहिए, हम अभी मैरियट से टेंट लेके आए, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के और काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट बढ़ा। अभी बस मुझे यही सुनना है आप लोगों से कि आप खाली पैनलिस्ट रहेंगे या सबको सपोर्ट भी करेंगे, बिजनेस भी आपस में करेंगे, और एक उसका सेशन होना चाहिए कि कैसे आपस में बिजनेस बढ़ा सकते हैं। सिर्फ मेरे लिए नहीं, हम तो मैरियट से जुड़े हैं तो सपोर्ट काफ़ी है, लेकिन और भी जैसे आप रिलायंस से हैं, आप गोवर्धन ग्रीन्स, माने आपने भी द्वारका में बहुत बड़ा काम किया है, मैडम केन्या से काम किया है, बहुत सारा, मतलब सबका अलग अलग डिफरेंट एक सिनारियो है। तो एक मुझे लगता है कि एक बिजनेस मीट भी होना चाहिए कि क्या नॉलेज शेयरिंग करके कैसे बिजनेस बढ़ाए। थैंक यू।
सो मेरा एक पॉइंट है, मैं हमेशा एक्चुअली जब भी कोई भी ट्रैवल गैदरिंग में जाता हूँ, आई कीप टेलिंग whether it is hotels or any it need not be always a branded 5-star hotel, any category of hotel, अगर आप लोग को लगता है, बिकॉज क्या होता है, कॉर्पोरेट्स विल ऑलवेज टेक देयर पीपल आउटसाइड इंडिया, क्योंकि उनको एक दिखाना रहता है कि मैं आपको इंटरनेशनल डेस्टिनेशन में लेके जाता हूँ। विद इन इंडिया इट इज़ वेरी लेस, जो कॉर्पोरेट्स अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को ही विद इन इंडिया वो, बट विद इन इंडिया द एम्प्लॉयज़ गो विद देयर फैमिलीज। जैसा अभी आपने बोला, मैंने आपको तुरंत जवाब दिया कि माई नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन फॉर वाइल्ड लाइफ इज टू गो टू जवाई, but that will be my own personal wo. Now if hotels and chain of hotels, if they are there, if they can promote it and they can send out such mailers and flyers to the corporates, now I handle HR, for me, I'll be more than happy to send this mailer to all my employees. अगर मेरे 13,500 एम्प्लॉई है, मैं 13,500 एम्प्लॉइज़ को अगर मैं भेज देता हूँ कि यहाँ पे ये डेस्टिनेशन में ये होटल्स ये, it can be off season for you. It need not be during your peak season. I'm talking it can be off season for you, and you give some discount. You give. आपका ऑफ सीजन में भी शायद लोग आने शुरू हो जाएंगे. So that is the way we can grow business for you, but we have to think both ways. I mean, I may not bring my corporate business to you, but I can always send my employees, and अगर 13,000 में से अगर आपके पास 100 जन भी आ गए, तो that is business for you. I'm just saying. So there is always a possibility. I mean, there is no dearth of opportunity. Opportunity is always there. We need to create it as partners. So there is always a possibility.
Okay, to add on to your, to answer your question, after this session, in another 10 minutes we'll wind up, we are having a marketplace where we have quite a lot of our people who have already registered. So they will be available here. You can interact with those. They are all Lohana, most of them are Lohana partners, travel suppliers. You can interact with them, and you can see how you can take your business forward. Balance, I also have something else in mind the way he said. We'll take it off after the session is over. Anyone else? Any other question?
Hello. I have listened it very nicely, and all the thoughts were very informative and good for me. We are there in the fragrance business, and we do cultivations of aromatic crops right from seashore up to upper Himalaya, means 4,000 meters. So we can grow everything and anything, whatever is imported in from world. Like people knows lavender from France, people knows lavender from Bulgaria. But now we have created, with the help of Aroma Mission, which was instituted by Modi ji, to grow in Sonmarg, upper areas like Laol, Spiti, and so many places. And there the areas are beautiful. So have you thought about such kind of thing? And even second edition is on the seaside. We have areas like Dapoli, where lot of tourism is coming with Loda, Lemon Tree, and so on. So many good hotels. We also are, but we are not hoteliers. We are not travel agent. But we have cultivated 500 acres of at least 50 crops, and people do not know whether we can see sandalwood trees or agarwood trees. So such kind of tourism, we get a lot of people, but we tell them to come there. Now good hotels are there, so stay in these hotels. We give them direct link, and they come to us. So such kind of tourism also have enough scopes. We get at least hundreds or maybe thousands of people are interested in coming on such kind of tours. Thank you.
No, but I just want to tell him that this kind of tourism is already there in place. You were with Sands, right? Okay. So in Singapore, there is a brand which is again into fragrances only. It has tied up with the tourism board, and they promote it. It is a curated. वहाँ पे तो आपके पास chef भी अच्छा है, and fragrance वाला, these two things they will curate, and वो बोलेंगे कि आपका एक दिन half a day they will spend, आपका cooking का class करा देंगे और एक fragrance creation का एक वो करा देंगे, and that is how they they are promoting themselves. India में तो उससे बहुत ज़्यादा है. I mean, Oli and all has been always famous for viewing flowers and all. Same as Satara के पास भी है, which is only open for a certain duration. Like you said, it can very much be. It has to be a part of a curated package. It cannot be just for that people will come to see. But उसके साथ साथ आपका destination में और क्या है उसको package बना के देंगे, तो people will definitely come.
So hence, sir, you have to work in a partnership with the hotel, with the agent, with the, not you in particular, I'm saying, because this as an experience, like he said, will be a part of an itinerary. It cannot be may not be the sole reason why someone may come, like a pilgrimage. Yes, anyone who's not even a traveler may get up and decide, I want to go for Tirth Yatra. That's something that they will do at any point of the year. But for an experience, it has to be put in, in an itinerary form.
We do
So-
other way around. Sorry, we do other way around. As Madam said, pilgrimage can come anytime. But what additionally we can offer to the pilgrimage? That's what we do in Dwarka. But a lot of things is happening during this winter time. Summer is the time where the such sea activities cannot be done. So that's how that we curate the entire trip.
I have two questions. Which state has a very powerful or aggressive tourism board as per your experience?
If you ask me as a traveler, MP, Madhya Pradesh. Some of them might want to differ with me, but I strongly feel MP.
I think Goa is initially done, but now they are coming down, and parallelly Gujarat has also picked up. I am not comparing it with MP, but Gujarat is doing reasonably well for last 15 years.
Yes, I personally feel I agree with him. Especially Gujarat has come up exponentially. So it is really, really good proposition. There are other states who are pushing. Uttarakhand is also pushing quite a bit. So they are also doing good. But every state has realized the potential of doing, doing better economy, promoting their economy with promoting tourism. Because tourism is the only thing that will give them a lot of support by way of economic development, job creations, which is the primary job of the government as of now. However, they all lack on one particular count is sustainable tourism. That's also very important, which is not generally addressed so much. So some of the places have become very congested. Like you go to Shimla, Shimla is totally congested. It's no more a tourist station, it's just like a city. And infrastructure is so poor. So getting to Shimla by itself is a challenge. And it's like you spend a lot of time. Same thing in Gujarat. So Gujarat has done a lot of job, a lot of road creations are there. But even the strip that he just talked about, Jamnagar, Porbandar and all that, still a lot needs to be done as far as infrastructure is required. Because then that will really give them a better tourism. I know I've got a place near Dwarka or somewhere, Somnath, where there was such a beautiful temple place or something which has a promenade and all that. Excellent place. But how to go there? The challenge is that. So this is where we lack. And the government needs to step into this because as a private builder, as a private entity, you will not be able to build roads. So these are the kind of things that is required.
And I'll just like to add one point to sir. When he talks about sustainable tourism, one more point is conscious tourism. What has happened is we as private parties, we have gone and created, actually we have misused we have played with the nature. So that's the reason we have these catastrophes that is happening in Himachal or Uttarakhand and all these places. Landslides happening, all this, because we are uprooting trees, we are creating resorts, hotels. So that also has to be in a we should learn from our neighbors in Bhutan. The way they restrict tourism also, their entire economy is dependent on tourism, but they are doing very well. They might charge a bit extra money for their daily for charges are there, one for each and every person who is entering into their country. But the way they have maintained their country is to be, we as Indians need to learn from it, and we need to do conscious tourism also. It cannot be like we are, just playing around with nature. So that also needs to be taken care of.
And my second question is that in such a big country, time sharing as a concept has not evolved to that great extent. Only Mahindra Holidays has actually been a very successful company. Why this sector is stuck up or could not grow? Yeah, that's what I feel. What is your view on that?
I think, in my opinion, trust is the factor. Because there are a lot of companies, they have come out in parallel with Club Mahindra. But suddenly they have vanished. Why? Integrity of the promoter could be one of the reason. Black economy is another reason. So trust is the primary factor. Otherwise, we have got all possible, cocktail का सब अपने पास वो है inputs. So why it should not happen? But I think trust is the primary factor.
I just wanted to know, you are experts in the tourism, on coastal side of tourism actually, because Ro-Ro service started from Mumbai to only up to Alibag, but that Ro-Ro is also not so far successful, but it is said that it will be done. What is your view actually? Because a lot of scope I see on this, but your view is more important, and especially Kapadiaji's view with all his experience will give some good lights on it.
So I'll not just restrict it to a Roro because Roro is a very small thing. But आप आज के डेट में इंडिया में you look at cruises. Though India just has now one Cordelia cruise, but other than that, बाहर से जो cruise ships इंडिया में आ रहे हैं and Indians are going out in cruise for 7 days, 8 days from India to other destinations, that has grown exponentially. So अगर आप आज के डेट में every Friday you go to Bombay dock, you'll see how many ships are coming, how many people are traveling every day. And that entire belt, I mean, I think thanks to Mr. Gadkari and others who are planning to make similar to a airport kind of a experience, they are planning for a port, seaport. Huh?
There's a cruise terminal
Cruise
which
terminal
is at Ballard
that-
Estate.
in Ballard
And
Estate.
I have seen I've been to that terminal multiple times. It has grown very well. Today they have the infrastructure that they have. Of course, it needs more improvement, but the infrastructure that they have at that terminal is fantastic. International ships, immigration, and everything happens there. Most of your international ships, the QE2 and all, which all come to Bombay, they all are standing there. Cordelia also leaves from there only.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll just wind up in a few minutes, and then by the time we finish this balance part, I would like to let everyone know who are participating in the marketplace to be ready, so that in a few minutes, then we'll just change the setup slightly, and then we'll move to the marketplace. So you all will get the opportunity to meet other travel partners, like if they have travel agents also, there will be hoteliers also, car vendors also who are there. So you can, and just for your knowledge, one, we have Kenya Tourism here, and also we have representatives from Air India here. Where is the Air India representatives? Huh?
He stepped out.
So Air India representative is also there. So in case you all want to have any interaction with an airline, we have got the Air India representative also here, so you can interact with them. Okay, so thank you very much, all the speaker as well as all the panelists.
Thank you.
And I will now just a few minutes, and then we wind up this whole thing. Okay, I'm sure you all would have had an enriching session and taken advantage of the experience and knowledge shared by the various travel industry veterans, and make full utilization of this. By the time we do our setup change, you have your opportunity. You can do one-to-one networking with them and talk to them also. And I would like to express my sincere thanks to Satish Bhai and Lohana Mahaparishad and Lohana International Business Forum, for having organized this kind of a wonderful session. Though we had some challenges, but that is fine. We will see in the future, maybe we have something like this with a lesser challenge where we can do it. Finally, I would also like to inform you about an initiative which it's work in progress, and we may come out with it. Mayur is sitting there. Mayur, please stand up. And Dev is here. Please give if you're a travel partner, travel supplier, please give your name, your company name, and your mobile number to him. We are trying to create a group of all travel suppliers of the Lohana community. So once that group is created, you can communicate with each other on the group and see how you can help each other for business, and also take advantage of each other's connections that they have. Some may have connections somewhere, some may have connections. You need a car in some place in India, there will be a company somewhere who can give it to you. So we are trying to create a connect forum, especially for travel, and for especially right now for the Lohana community. So I would request you, please give your names and all these details to these two people. So when the group is created, you all can become part of it. Okay, and finally, I express my gratitude to the keynote speaker and all the panelists for having taken time out from their busy schedule and grace the occasion. And finally, a very, very big thank you to all the participants at this conclave. And last but not the least, I would like to also take this opportunity to thank my core team, because without whose help, I would not have been able to do all these things. So I would just like to invite them on the stage. Just please come here, the core team. I'll read out the names. Miss Urvi Thakkar, Mayur Thakkar, Nailesh Mashru, Dev Bantia, and Dhara. Please come here. Have the photo. Before we disperse, I'll just take this opportunity to present a small memento to our keynote speaker as well as the panelists. Can we have? Firstly, I would like to present this small memento to Nalin Bhai as a remembrance of his participation to LIBF.